reduce it a little bit. Welcome. Hello and welcome back to the YMCA Ignite show. Thank you for joining us. This is a show where the work of the YMCAs worldwide is showcased on our Vision 2030 journey. I'm coming to you live from Melbourne, the land of the Wurundjeri people in southeastern Australia, where it's just gone 10 p.m. local time.
And I'm Mafe, live from Bogotá, Colombia, where it is 7 a.m. Hola, hola y bienvenidos.
It's our pleasure to welcome you from wherever you're joining us today and whatever time it is, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, or maybe watching back on Catch Up on our website. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Over the next 45 minutes, we aim to inspire and inform you about the global YMCA movement, its future direction, and importantly, what this show is all about, YMCA Vision 2030.
YMCA Vision 2030 is our global strategy, YMCA's collective North Star, to propel us forward to greater community, national and global impact. And since our first Ignite show in January, a lot has been happening.
As we are broadcasting live, do let us know where you're joining us from around the world today. More than 1,000 of you tuned in for the episode 1. You can post in the chat or whatever platform you're watching on, or drop us an email at igniteshow@ymca.int. Let us know where you're joining us from and what you're doing, and we'll share some comments later in the show.
Yep, but I think it's time we jump straight in. Coming up, this second episode of the Ignite show,
we're going to be speaking to Ruth, two young people who have just joined the YMCA's Change Agent leadership program.
We'll hear how YMCA Ukraine, YMCA Romania are working to create a just and equitable, inclusive world, the fourth pillar of Vision 2030.
I will be sharing some of the stories you have sent in the past few weeks from YMCAs the world over, as we bring you round-up of Vision 2030 news.
But first, let's zoom in on some local action to the heart of a YMCA community, where the YMCA makes the greatest impact. The team at YMCA of the Rockies, high in the mountains of Estes Park, Colorado in the United States, have been transforming the way they work. They aim to become a carbon neutral operation while educating members in the process on what Vision 2030's sustainable pillar means. Let's take a look.
In the beautiful Rocky Mountains of Colorado. We have two centers. One is in Estes Park, Colorado, and the other one is near Winter Park.
And we function as a camp and conference center, serving over 200,000 people a year, and really connecting people with themselves, with their family or group, with their faith, or with nature.
30 years ago, we would have seen winter approach basically by the end of October, and the snow was at least a foot deep by then, and it was there to stay until May. Here it is 30 years later, roughly, and now winter comes much later, almost a month later, can we consistently rely on snow. And then it also melts out earlier, so it's probably a month earlier when it melts out in the spring. Here at the YMCA of the Rockies, we're in such an amazing, beautiful location. And yet it's sad to think that this environment may not be the same in future generations.
The Plastic Wrap Initiative started really as a grassroots effort among our staff. Our staff identified that we were wasting a lot of plastic and a lot of money every year by wrapping towels when we took took them to different lodging units in plastic and then unwrapping them and throwing away the plastic when we got to those units. And those staff had a better way. And they utilized that grant funding to buy reusable bags, to stop using single-use plastic, and to really make a lot of headway and to reduce our waste in that realm, and to save money in that realm as well.
So these are our new bed bundles or linen bundles. In the past, we used to take saran wrap and wrap them 3 times around to hold them together for the staff to take out. We replaced them with these plastic bags that get reused instead of the single-use plastic wrap. And so then all of our staff, when they're working and cleaning, come through here and grab the different bundles that they need while they're cleaning and making cabins. It doesn't take much to make a difference. All we did was change the saran wrap plastic in our department, and we have seen huge benefits from that, as well as the reduction in the waste that we're producing.
Lauren and I are both members of a project called Cyrus, Going Green for Good. The goal of this project is to engage with other YMCAs in all of our respective countries, as well as YMCAs around the world, so that we can take a look at the waste that we're producing and try to pull back on the waste that we're sending to landfills, as well as educate guests with activities and games and things like that. So our biggest goal is education through this project, but it's also to engage and activate climate action in YMCAs around the world.
We're going to be out here doing a waste audit as part of a project with our Cyrus team. How a waste audit works is you collect all of your trash for a given period of time. For us, we did it for a week. And then you take it and you dump it all out and you sort it out and you kind of figure out, okay, so what kinds of things are we throwing away that we could be recycling? What kinds of things could be composted? And what things truly need to go in the trash?
So how do we end up, Amy?
So after doing all the math, it looks like 60% of our total waste could have either been recycled or compost. So that means 60% of what we're collecting and sending to landfills could have been diverted.
The YMCA of the Rockies new strategic plan that was approved by the board in April of 2022 has 5 pillars. And one of those pillars is environmental sustainability. We seek to be a leader among camps and conference centers in environmental sustainability. And we know we've got a lot of work and a lot of opportunity to live into that. I would like to share with other YMCAs that are considering this as part of the Vision 2030 and the Y movement to really embrace a focus on environmental sustainability, to know that the work we do in that space is benefiting the adults and the youth that we serve and the future of our planet. I would also say that in that work, you've got to meet people where they're at and walk with them along that journey. And for some individuals, some YMCAs, that may be a slower walk. And for others, it may be a much quicker walk. But meeting people where they're at to walk on that journey together.
Amazing work. Thank you to the YMCA of the Rockies for sharing that journey with us, showing us how they are addressing the strategic goals 1 and 2 of the Sustainable Planet pillar of Vision 2030. Remember, each of the 4 pillars are 3 goals: a YMCA 1, a YMCA in the Community 1, and a YMCA Global Advocacy 1.
Absolutely, and the YMCA of the Rockies went even further. Each team have mapped out their new strategic plan against Vision 2030, and it's an almost perfect fit. To find out how they did that, head to our website to find out more.
Plus, recent research by the World YMCA shows that about 60% of the 120 YMCA national movements are starting or leading work around sustainable planet.
All right. So you've been sharing your greetings. I'm just checking to see who's joining us here currently. So we have Change Agent Sarah from Cohort 5.0 watching in Madagascar. Hello in Madagascar. Hello to Abhishek, YMCA India, where it's currently 5:37 p.m. Pretty jealous. That's a little early. And to Marcus in Germany on Facebook, Chanel in Cape Town, at South Africa YMCA on LinkedIn. That's very cool. Plus many more viewers in Germany, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Brazil, and Colombia. This is awesome. All right, well, still to come in the next 15 minutes, we'll be chatting with the Ruth and Ebenezer, the new YMCA Change Agents from Liberia and Singapore. Plus, we'll hear how work around a just world is being advanced in Ukraine and Romania. So stay tuned.
In the last 3 months, a lot of amazing work, conversations, meetings, and events have been taking place at all levels of YMCA on how we advance the YMCA Vision 2030 blueprint for a better YMCA and a better world. And our short response to reimagining our amazing 179-year organization for the 21st century.
It's our way of not just looking different, but being stronger and better to ourselves and to the world we deal with, partners, donors, and above all, young people.
So what's been happening with Vision 2030 since we were live in January? Basically, all over the world, national movements and area alliances have been discussing how to bring their own strategies in line with Vision 2030.
All right, absolutely, Mafe. And with that, it's time for our first news roundup.
A new global survey of national YMCAs around the world found that 50% of them had already integrated YMCA Vision 2030 into their new or existing strategies, or were in the process of doing so. And to that, a further 12% were planning to do so in the future. That sounds very exciting. Things are really happening.
In February, a group of fundraising and partnership development specialists came together at the World YMCA headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland, to discuss how to increase our collective capacity to deliver Vision 2030. Kathleen Elsig, Director of Global Partnerships at World YMCA, has more.
The Global Resource Development Group was the first of its kind. We met and we talked about teamwork. Teamwork to identify new opportunities for raising resources for Vision 2030 and the YMCA movement. Teamwork for turning those opportunities into tangible benefits for the YMCA. And teamwork in building the capacity of the YMCA movement to do more, to do better, and to do more together to raise resources for Vision 2030.
In the same month, staff and volunteers from the 4 YMCA's area alliances, that's Africa, Asia Pacific, Europe, Latin America, and the Caribbean, were joined by the YMCAs of Canada and the USA, as well as YCare International, again in Geneva. They came together to begin to map out the way they will provide support to the worldwide movement in implementing Vision 2030. They draft action plans on strategy and coordination, learning and innovation, advocacy and influence, and resource mobilization.
Then, at the annual National YMCA CEOs Conference hosted by YMCA of the USA at the end of March, Vision 2030 was again on the menu. Some 70 of our leaders discussed managing, implementing, scaling, and very importantly, funding it, while examining the importance of their role in supporting it at a local community level.
Meanwhile, local strategic leaders from local YMCAs across the Philippines came together to discuss their 4-year strategic plan, developing a shared rooted understanding of Vision 2030 and how to interpret it locally and nationally.
Similar meetings took place in Peru and across Europe. In April, Secretary General Carlos Sanvi presented Vision 2030 to leaders of the YMCA in France and the YMCA Germany's Basecamp 23 Congress for those who want to lead YMCA into the future.
Or the same weekend at YMCA YWCA Norway's General Assembly, World YMCA Head of Strategy Razvan Victor Razou led attendees through a presentation of Vision 2030. You may remember Razvan joined us in our first episode to talk about the practical guide for implementing Vision 2030, which is still available to watch back on World YMCA's YouTube channel.
Over in the Middle East, youth groups at the East Jerusalem YMCA came together in April over 3 days to take a deep dive into the 4 pillars: community well-being, meaningful work, sustainable planet, and just world, to determine how they can implement them in their local communities.
YMCA of the USA rolled out the latest World Service fundraising campaign using Vision 2030 as an explainer for the work of YMCAs around the world. The campaign raises critical resources to enable YMCAs across the globe to empower young people.
At the end of April, more than 100 heads of local associations from across India met in Bangalore to discuss their perspective, Plan 2030, which is very closely aligned with Vision 2030. World YMCA joined them online. There are more than 700 local YMCAs in India, second only to the United States.
And World YMCA President Sohelia Hayek visited the YMCAs of Hong Kong to discuss their work in local communities and Vision 2030 in action. So Vision 2030 is gathering steam. Those were your news headlines.
Well, have you got a story to share about Vision 2030 where you are? Or how you're leading innovation in areas of community well-being, meaningful work, sustainable planet, and just world? Let us know, and maybe we'll feature your story next time. Just email us at igniteshow@ymca.int. That's igniteshow@ymca.int.
Or share your message, comments, and stories in the chat, and we will do our best to read some of it later in the show.
Now, last year, the whole world was in shock when Russia launched the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, constituting the biggest threat to peace and security in Europe since the end of the Cold War. We've all seen the terrible result: lives lost, infrastructure in ruins, communities and families broken up. The tragedy continues.
Since the early 1990s, YMCA has been working with the people of Ukraine. And when this war broke out, that continued. Recognizing the importance of the four pillars a just world, YMCA Ukraine and its neighboring movements in Romania, Hungary, and Moldova stepped up to advance justice, peace, equity, and human rights for all. As the war has raged, our voice has been raised. We will fight against systemic discrimination, inequity, and injustice in all its forms.
After the Ukrainian border, together with the president of the national movement and one of our leaders, giving donations to YMCA Karpaty. And we were in the parking lot just behind the border. And as the transfer was made from one bus to another, our friends from YMCA Karpaty, there, in a minus 10 degrees, in the middle of the parking slot, they were bringing us food, to share bread. It was one of the very emotional moments, heart to heart, mind to mind, YMCA to YMCA, and going back and looking back to all the 178 years of the Y. I think that is the most precious value.
Morning, 24th of February, was really not usual. People did not expect such full-range invasion. We expected some escalation in the east of Ukraine, but what happened, it was extraordinary. YMCA Ukraine responded to its best. From the very first day, we started to provide different activities, support activities, humanitarian aid activities to people who are suffering from the war. We established a few shelters for those who had to leave their homes and came to new locations. We provided people with food, medicine, everything what they needed.
In YMCA Romania, one of the values that we have is diversity. And we understand diversity not only welcoming everyone, regardless of their background, but also empower them and work together and supporting in order to reach their potential and thrive. At the first hours of the war, a lot of people went to the borders and bringing food, transportations, opening their houses for the Ukrainian refugees, because the war was in so much proximity of our country. And people like us, our brothers and sisters from just across the border, they were suffering. So we, Romania, people, civil society, but also government, took initiative, and we acted as one for welcoming the Ukrainian refugees. Together with other community associations, we created a community center called ROA, in which starting April 2022, we have employees from the Ukrainian refugees who are working together with us, hand in hand, heart to heart, in order to respond to when we are talking about survival and we are talking about a lot of uncertainty. The idea of having programs related with sustainable planet or community well-being, any of the pillars of Vision 2030, can be done only in co-creation and every time going back to the ever-changing needs of the beneficiaries, and prioritize and understand that today the need can be maybe related with a community well-being, and tomorrow an issue related with a just world, and a policy related with that can be a new priority.
I think that this Vision 2030 is really correct and actual for the war times as well. They give us a more clear vision where to concentrate our efforts, where we could get the most effect for our communities, for our youth, children. I would like to express again a huge gratitude to YMCA family all over the world, to all people of goodwill, for their solidarity, for great support. We believe that better times will come to Ukraine soon, and Ukraine will come back to normal life.
That's incredibly powerful listening. Thank you, Victor and Alina. We stand with you, and you have highlighted the importance of the third strategic goal for the Just World pillar. The YMCA will amplify the voices of young people and communities worldwide to ensure that all people, including vulnerable people and marginalized communities, are treated with dignity and their voices are heard and acted upon.
Yes, amazing. Thank you so much. Now, back in April, 120 young leaders from 57 countries joined the latest cohort of the global YMCA Change Agents program, our own leadership initiative to cultivate and empower young leaders as change agents in their own communities.
Running since 2014, Change Agents are young volunteers and staff from across the YMCAs across the world who strengthen our organization to serve more young people. They take part in creative and life-changing experiences, including online and face-to-face training, mentoring, and local project development for the expansion of youth services.
And there are more than 750 change agents to date. What a resource.
Yeah, we're very excited to be joined by two of them. Now, I acknowledge that one might be having technical difficulties. In any case, Ebenezer Davis, the president of the National Youth Council of the YMCA of Liberia, and Ruth Toh, a senior marketing executive with the YMCA Metropolitan in Singapore.
We promise you that Ebenezer will be here again in the future. Welcome, Ruth. It is a real pleasure to welcome you to the Ignite Show.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Firstly, could you please tell us a little bit about Vision 2030, how Vision 2030 looks like in your YMCA and in your communities?
Sure. Thanks for having me. I think at Metropolitan YMCA Singapore, I think we really believe in Vision 2030. I think there is a huge load of work that we could do, especially in community well-being, in the just world, in meaningful work and sustainable planet. Especially so in community well-being, we run youth programs where we do mentorship programs for secondary school youth to promote mental wellness, and also we run literacy programs for children from low-income families. Through it, we also have community programs where we run monthly food ration, where we do dignity shopping, where our beneficiaries will be able to select their customized needs rather than a standard package where everyone will receive the same. Along with that, we have some home cleaning and befriending programs. Apart from that, we also have in meaningful work, I think we really believe in our young people, in being able to engage, equip, and empower them to be able to, just thrive, in where they are at. Especially so with the youth-led solutions. I think through it enabled us to be able to run workshops, for us to be able to hold workshops for supervisors to run programs where we can create environment that is for greater youth engagement and empowerment. Yeah, and also through it, there's also intentional internship opportunities and exposures in the work that we do.
Oh, thanks, Ruth. So inspired to have you joining us today. So thank you very much for taking the time. I'm just curious, why is it important for us to invest in and develop these young leaders?
I think through it, young people have a lot of innovation. There's a lot of creativity and the solutions that young people can come to derive and to be able to implement in our national-wide, even locally, and also globally. I think through it, youth have so much potential that is untapped, and we can give them that voice and vision to be able to, implement what they hope to achieve. Yeah.
It is amazing the work you're doing there. I'm just wondering, how do you feel what is the connection between the work that you guys are doing locally and you as a change agent now?
I think for me, coming into this program as a change agent, I think it's very exciting that I'll be able to be part of this global network. I think before that, I have been very much used to working in the local context, but now I'm given opportunities to be exposed, to be able to connect with like-minded youth, to be able to come together and to be able to inspire or, other youth to action as well.
Fantastic. Now, I have a two-pronged question. So firstly, what is the best part about being a change agent? And then also, what can we look forward to in the next 12 months as part of the program in Singapore?
Okay, I think what's the best part? I think definitely making new friends, being able to find young people together and to be able to, run projects, to be able to make a difference in all that in the areas that we are placed in. And I think apart from that, it's also in the next 12 months to be able to get to know them more, to be able to run projects together, collaborate and bounce off ideas to be able to see how we can further, innovate and find new solutions to the problems and the challenges that we are facing in all that we are at place in. Yeah, so I think through that, there's a lot of e-learning as well for us to be better acquainted with the why and the work Vision 2030 and see how we can better reach our community.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So you were talking about making new friends. So we're wondering what conversations are going on across Singapore and Liberia related actually to YMCA Vision 2030.
So I've met Ebenezer just once during our discussion for this Ignite show. We got to share about the work that we do across our local Y. I think in the work that he has done, I think there is a National Youth Council that is led by him. And it is a transitional program where there are representatives from different YMCAs as well that comes together to make a difference. And I think it's very inspiring to be able to see that being run by the YMCA, because locally in Singapore, National Youth Council is run by the government. And I think it is also being able to see how the work being done for the youth is so diverse, yet at the same time, we come together with the same vision.
Awesome, Ruth. It's so great to hear as well the governance structures and how they differ in each country. I'm just curious what the attraction process is for the young people to join the Change Agents. Do you find them through the local YMCA? What's that process like for them up until they become a Change Agent?
I think for me, there is this draw to be able to come together to just connect with people who believe in youth. I think there's a lot of young people that wants to make a change, yet at the same time, they don't have that platform or even opportunities to be equipped. So they want to do something, but they may not know how to go about it. So through this platform, being able to equip us, being able to empower us to help us to serve our communities back at our Y, I think that's exciting and that's very attractive.
That's
if I can just take one question in.
Go ahead.
Sorry, how many Change Agents are you going to have this year?
In Singapore?
Yes.
There's only one. I'm the one being sent, from Metropolitan YMCA Singapore. Yes, yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing. What a responsibility. Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Ruth. It's clear that advancing youth leadership across the movement directly links to Vision 2030. I look at the second strategic goal of the Just Work pillar, which says YMCA will empower young people to become peace builders and transformative activists, leaders, and advocates for diversity, equity, inclusion, and social change.
Awesome. Now, if you haven't already, hit the follow, like, share, or subscribe button. Every interaction does help. And on that, you've been sending messages through. So, and stories connect to Vision 2032. So we've got a couple of messages here to read out that have been posted. So the YMCA Ukraine posted, thank you to the YMCA's movement and support and solidarity. Very important to continue doing. On YouTube, we have John from Cameroon on the African continent says he's happy to be a part of this exceptional journey. Happy to have you be a part of this journey, John. Nick in British Columbia, Canada says, amazing to see the impact and the power of humans coming together. Absolutely. Plus, hello to Diane in Australia. I happen to know Diane. Felix and Enoch in Kenya. Marlos in Zambia. Runku in Bangladesh. And Prince in Nigeria. Awesome. Thank you for joining, guys. Very happy to have you on this journey.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Early in the show, we heard about the annual YMCA National CEOs Conference that took place in March. While we were there, we took an opportunity to ask for 4 of them for their thoughts on Vision 2030 in action.
Wholeheartedly welcomed Vision 2030. We've had various engagements, both at national level and also at local level, basically just to unpack what Vision 30 is all about.
Now it's very helpful for us in our international affairs and works in YMCA, and the challenge is a bit to bring it to all these local, smaller ones.
A veces, preguntándonos acerca de la Visión 2030, pensamos cómo nuestro pequeño trabajo en Honduras puede aportar a sumar a un impacto mundial. Y esto precisamente es la oportunidad que nos presenta a futuro la Visión 2030, que nuestro trabajo, que nuestro aporte con nuestros voluntarios hacia nuestros beneficiarios sea tomado en cuenta como una suma de todos los movimientos a nivel mundial en un impacto que esperamos sea realmente significativo para el desarrollo de la humanidad.
It has brought together on a platform and give them a tunnel vision, if I may call it, at the moment to focus on what their North Star should be. With regard to India, we started this process 2 years ago in the shape of a perspective plan, and all our branches of the National Council all over India and the 9 regions that we are divided into, they were encouraged to make their own plans till 2030.
It is a welcome move. We are excited about it. We are happy to know that YMCA will have a collective vision, and at least that will help us to measure even our impact.
Thank you to those national general secretaries for sharing. Now, you might not know, but today is Europe Day, which serves as a great reminder that YMCA Europe is holding its 15th anniversary called Y Together in Berlin from June 28th of June to the 2nd of July, 50th year. In addition to the celebrations and the festivities, the event is activating Vision 2030 across Europe with a deep dive into the 4 pillars. It will be a call for unity, peace, youth empowerment, and building bridges for reconciliation in the heart of Europe. So that's in Berlin, 28th of June to the 2nd of July. Contact your Y National Movement. If you're in Europe, to find out more, go to ymcaeurope.com, the 50th year anniversary.
You can't miss that. Well, we're almost at a close. Let's leave you with some important actions that you can take wherever you are in the world and whatever your role is within the YMCA.
We're thrilled to see YMCAs like the USA and Australia bringing Vision 2030 into their websites, email newsletters, and social media. To talk more, the more we talk about Vision 2030 and the more we share, the better. We want to hear your story, so let us know. The email is igniteshow@ymca.int. Whether you're telling us about big national or local projects or the everyday wonder of individual lives changed, we want to know all about it.
And with the stories, we need photos and videos. So with Founders Day around the corner on the 6th of June, marking our 127th birthday, we will honor in the past, but celebrating the present on the one special day. Let's take a look at the challenge.
Amazing. So as you can see, it's very simple. We're going to capture the work of YMCA everywhere in one day, in a moment in time, in tens of thousands of communities and hundreds of countries, fully global and fully local.
Send us your photos of your YMCA in action on the 6th of June and 7th of June, illustrating the 4 pillars, the 4 Vision 2030 pillars. We want to create an incredible gallery of pictures that we can share among ourselves and show the world.
Yeah, so whether you're an area alliance, a national movement, a local association, all 12,000 of you, or one of the tens of millions of young people who are in any way involved with the YMCA.
And if you had a great photo taken before that day, of course you can send that too. Find out more on our website.
Yeah, so send us pictures, send us stories, follow World YMCA on social media and be part of a massive enterprise of making a better YMCA and in turn, a better world.
Sadly, that's nearly all we have got time for today. But before we go, there are some brilliant resources at our fingertips to support all of us with the Vision 2030 journey.
Yeah, so head to our website where you'll find videos, communication resources, examples, case studies, and the all-important practical guide.
And you can sign up to the newsletter where all the latest news on Vision 2030 is delivered straight to your inbox monthly.
So that's www.ymca.int/vision-2030 or scan the QR code shown on your screen right now.
Remember, we'll be back on Wednesday, the 6th of September for our next episode. You can add it into your diaries now via the website. And if you have any story for us or would like to feature on the show, just get in touch by email us and at Ignite Show at ymca.int.
Yeah, and a nice final little plug. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share our stories and posts. And if you've missed anything from today, it will be available soon on World YMCA's YouTube channel.
Have a great day or good night wherever you are, and thank you for watching today. Goodbye. Ciao, ciao.
Goodbye. Thank you.